And let me share now my screen. I'll introduce the company, and also I'll introduce myself as well. And after that, I'll introduce you to Lean and Six Sigma, and how much you need know about Lean Six Sigma. Just if you can write in the chat box, totally new, or you have done some course, maybe introductory course, or you have a good idea, a little bit idea maybe, or you are already a green belt or a black belt. Just if you can write down in the chat box. Now, this is the agenda which I just displayed here. We'll be talking about DMAC also. And I'm a resident of Melbourne, and but most of my work is in Europe, Middle East, India, apart from Australia, Australian western parts, Perth. So although staying in Melbourne, but mostly traveling within Australia or around the world, I would say. Mm, So one of you are from healthcare, and two of you are from manufacturing. Apart from, uh, mhm. So we'll have a look at some of the tools and techniques of Lean Six Sigma. Then we'll also see if we can apply uh, some of your, if you have any issues, problems in your industry. We'll try to give you some recommendations towards the end and show you some applications, the other companies, how they have implemented Lean and Six Sigma. Okay, great. So let us introduce first ourselves. And we have been around since 2006 as a company, and trained more than 150,000 individuals and professionals. And we have trained in almost all kinds of industries: manufacturing, BPO, IT, KPOs, um, tech, uh, technology, AI. Then we have got logistics, uh, healthcare, Ministry of Health of Saudi Arabia and Vietnam. They are our clients, and major projects have been accomplished there. Um, Almost on all parts of world, in all parts of worlds, we have done. And about myself, I'm a chemical engineer, MBA finance, also an amateur poet, real hardworking. I completed my black belt certification long time ago, in the year 1998, 99. And as I said before you, I'm a Lean and Six Sigma Master Black Belt Data Scientist, PMP, CPHQ, 34 years of experience, and consulted for more than 200 organizations, including 15 Fortune 100 companies, and author of 2 books, and multiple projects in multiple domains. I've been speaking in ASQ, American Society of Quality. 2 times I was keynote speaker. Total 10 times I've spoken there. Every year I'm invited to speak in the American Society of Quality conference, World Conference, apart from many other conferences. Hospital Management Asia. I'm also I'm the panelist of the panel, and the panel of judges of Process Excellence Award for the healthcare. And yeah, so some photographs to prove that I've conducted lots of trainings around the world, appeared on TV shows, um, as I said, hospitals, uh, manufacturing, shipping, Maersk. I started the Lean and Six Sigma uh, training, and I see some of the people uh, uh, from India as well who are joined. So for them, this is a Z Business Show where I
am Shekhar Suman, and I wish to congratulate all the Six Sigma certified
appeared on
black
Gulf
belt
News,
from Anexas. All the
uh,
best.
Australian YouTube channels, and Indian TV shows. Um, as I was explaining, those who have joined
On 21st of May 2019,
I've been
I'm
speaking
going to
in World Quality Conferences. It's an honor. Yes, American Railways, Saudi Railways, Indian Railways, they're all our clients. And I've been writing multiple magazines. I also take pride in telling that I was the first person to conduct the Lean and Six Sigma Black Belt training program in whole of Middle East back in 2007. So we are very, very well known there. And yeah, so that was about me and about the organization. Those who have joined a little late, they might have missed it out, but that was just my way of passing some time so that more people can join in. Thanks for joining again. To those who have just joined, welcome, welcome once again. And if you can write down which domain you are from, which industry you are from, those who have joined recently. So if you can write down in the chat box, that will really help me to give some related examples. Because the purpose here is to not only learn, but also see the applications. So I'd like to show you some applications from your industry. So I have got people from healthcare. I've got people from oil and gas. I've got people from IT. I've got people from Okay, Hitesh is telling he's junior from the same college. Oh, from my college. Oh, are you in Perdman in Perth by any chance? Because he's also the owner of that company, Perdman in Perth. Perdman Group is also he's actually my classmate. He's also from the same college. Manufacturing, engineering. Okay, great. So I think it's a mixed group, and because it's a mixed group, what I would do is I would take some generic example to begin with. So healthcare also, so I'll have to take care of the healthcare guys, and then manufacturing also, resource and mining industry. Okay, wow, mm-hmm. Great, fine. So I think, uh, uh, see, we will do a project as we go along. We will learn some tools. No, 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 I won't say learn. I will show you some tools. We see yellow as a yellow belt, and I'll also explain who's a yellow belt, green belt, black belt, etc. And I'd also ask one question at the beginning, but those who have joined recently, they can answer that again. That what is your knowledge? Are you in terms of Lean and Six Sigma? Are you a novice, or you have got some little bit of initial knowledge, or you have got a fair knowledge, or you're an expert? If you just write down, if I give you three options, so based on that, I will proceed further. Okay, so we say, okay, people are just at initial stages. Okay, Gangadhar, are you the same Gangadhar whom you worked with me earlier? In Mumbai. Oh, okay. So great. Welcome. Now, can you guess what is the common thread running in these bullet points? A manufacturing company improves production by 30%. A hospital reduces discharge time of patients from 3 hours to 15 minutes. 64% reduction in recruitment time in multinational company. Hotel improves customer experience. Bank reduces errors. Insurance claims time reduced by 70%. So what is the common theme? If you can just tell me, what is the common theme here? So I see increase in productivity, improve efficiency of business. Yes, all of you are right. And also, all of them are Lean and Six Sigma projects. Yeah. So let me define, every time you have to give your definition, right? So I'm giving my definition, how I define Lean and Six Sigma. So of course, Lean Six Sigma is about improving the productivity, reducing the cost, etc. It is all about these. And I'll also give, by the way, we have implemented this in multiple organizations. I've got a long list of clients. I'm not going to spend too much time on telling you the stories of my achievements. But that was just to give you a little bit of confidence that I really know Six Sigma. Okay, so now let us look at what Lean and Six Sigma can do. It reduces the cost, reduces the defects, reduces the waste, rework, cycle time, and also improves the quality, production efficiency, productivity, customer satisfaction, capacity, profitability, and resilience. Now, how it does. So let me give you my definition of Lean and Six Sigma. Lean Six Sigma is a project approach towards process improvement. Project approach towards process improvement. What is a process? Process is something which gets repeated again and again. If you're doing something again and again, multiple times, then it's a process. Like production is a process. Procurement is a process. Marketing, selling, recruitment, they're all processes. Treating a patient, those who are from healthcare, and special welcome to all the people. There are three or four people from healthcare industries. So totally, I think we have got around 20 or so, 20 people, but in general, and from different sources who have joined in. And I would say that 33% of you are from healthcare. So I will try to give you some healthcare examples also. So if you are from healthcare, it can reduce your patient waiting time. It can reduce your infection rates. It can improve overall, like it can reduce the length of stay of the patients in the hospital. Last year, I had presented in American Society of Quality that how using a Lean and Six Sigma project, we reduced the nosocomial infection, means hospital-acquired infections in the hospitals. And I had taken examples of 2 hospitals from Australia, 3 hospitals from Saudi Arabia, and 2 hospitals from India. So combining this whole data, we had done a good study, and we applied Lean and Six Sigma to reduce the nosocomial infection. Okay, great. So Lean Six Sigma can achieve all of these things. And coming back to the definition, Lean and Six Sigma is a project approach towards process improvement. So process is something which you are repeating again and again, like treating a patient. If you're from banking, then opening a bank account. This is a process. Now, if you want to improve, see, a process produces an output. Process produces an output. And an output, either it's a product or a service, gets measured by the customer. It has got some typical measures. And some of the measures might be within the satisfaction levels of the customer, or some of them may not be. So in that case, what I can do is, I was trying to explain change management to one of my black belt batch earlier in the morning. Yeah. So here, let me give you, a clear picture of, or rather, what I'm drawing is a systems map of all the organizations in the world. So think of your organization. Just imagine your organization and try to fit this into this model. All of us have got some inputs, yeah, through a series of process steps. Yeah, it could be machine A, B, C, D, or department A, B, C, D. We produce an output. Yeah, so this is an output. These are the inputs. Yeah, supplied by, of course, the suppliers. And the outputs, they go to the customers. The customers give you the feedback. And also we predict the demand as well. So demand. And this gets processed by the strategy or the planning team, strategy or planning team of our organization. And based on the demand predicted and also the feedback received from the customers, your strategy team informs the suppliers to provide the raw material, the inputs, and also inform the departments to change the parameters of your processes, right? So in a way, what you're doing here is you're trying to produce an output to the best satisfaction of your customers. The whole idea is to provide value to the customer through your output. Now, outputs could be either a product or a service. Output could be either a product or a service. Product or a service. Yeah. Now, this product or a service gets measured by the customer. And in Lean and Six Sigma, we call it a CTQ, critical to quality characteristics. The three CTQs are always present in all products or services. One is the customer is concerned about the time taken to deliver the service or the product or produce a product. Another thing is they're also concerned about the cost, and they're also concerned about the defects or the errors. Defects or the errors could be like you should be within the specification limits. So if you are producing a chocolate, the weight of the chocolate could be a CTQ. If you are working in hospital, then let's say infection rate could be one of the CTQ. So these are the measures on the output. We designate them with the symbol Y, the Y, alphabet Y. Okay, I hope you are with me till now. So we have a process, and I was telling those who have just joined, once again, welcome to the training. And we are on the very first topic right now. We are trying to understand the systems map, which is also more popularly known as value stream map. This is how your value is created in your organization for your customers. Like you are creating the value for the customers through a series of process steps. And this is how the value flows. The raw materials gets enhanced in the value through a series of process steps. This output, when consumed by the customer receives some value. The customer is interested in the value. Customer is not interested too much in the product or the service. Like say, suppose you are producing a car. Car is your product. But customer is interested in the value he or she is deriving from the car, which is that maybe getting transported from one place to another place comfortably. So the companies which focus on the value rather than the product or service alone, they are innovative companies. Yeah. Now coming back to the products or services, the measures. Not every time you are always within the specifications. Let me define some of the things. Just remember those things because this will be required. These are our measures, CTQs. The customers would always have some specification limits. Customers, remember, even the shareholders are also our customers. Yeah. Apart from the consumers of our product or services, shareholders are also our customers. Government also is our customers. So they provide certain specification limits. If they don't provide, we have to define it ourselves. You should deliver this in less than 10 days. Or your cycle time of if you're in a BP or you're processing some, let's say, making a report, your report should be produced within 60 minutes. The cost should be less than, let's say, $5 per unit. Yeah. Or defect should be less than, let's say, 0.1%. Weight should be weight of the chocolate should be within 100 grams plus minus 5 grams, etc., etc. Yeah, I hope you got the point. Now, your performance, now, where is your performance? Performance could be not so good. Your average delivery time is 15 days. Yeah. Not all deliveries are in 15 days, but yeah, if you plot that histogram, most of them are in 15 days. Sometimes you definitely go up to, let us say, 9 days. And sometimes you go up to, let us say, 21 days also. But this is your current performance. Similarly, your cost of production is $7. Your, what was that? Defect rate is 2%, etc. Or your average weight of the chocolate is, so here we have two-sided specifications. You should be within, the lower specification limit here is 90. Let me make it a little bit 5 grams. Yeah, so 95 here. 95, and upper specification limit is 105 grams. And our performance, probably, maybe, I'm just making an assumption, you are trying to give more, to be on the safer side. So on an average, your weight is 102 grams. And sometimes, this is how we are producing. Yep. So you are losing the money for the company. Or it could be the other way around also. We are producing like this. Most of the time, your customers is unhappy, or the government authorities, when they check the weight of chocolate, they find that you're promising 100 grams, but on average, you're providing, many times you're providing less than 95 grams, which was your lower specification. I hope you are with me till now. Yeah. Are you with me? I hope. And keep asking questions anytime. This is an introductory program. I'm assuming that I'm starting from ground zero. Yeah. But if you don't understand some of the graphs and charts, feel free to ask questions. We have got sufficient time. Okay. Okay. Now, yeah, I'm just checking out on the chat. Yeah. So if we are not within the specification limits, means customer is dissatisfied. Yeah. So in such situations, we have to take up an improvement project. And there the project is born, a Lean and Six Sigma project is born. Problems are in the processes, not in the people. Yeah. Problem is in the processes, not in the people. The same people will deliver excellent results if you change the process. And that's what Lean Six Sigma aims at. And that's the whole idea behind process excellence. That's why we say process excellence. Yeah. So we created a value stream map. Now, if I just explain this a little bit further. Okay, before that, I'll come back to this. Let me also answer one question which many people ask. Who's a green belt? Who's a yellow belt, black belt, etc.? So let me talk about that also. By the way, I also conduct the PMP training, project management training, and our success rate is above 95%. So in case you are interested in that, you can always join my other sessions, free 2-hour project management introductory session. Okay. So before I go here, let me explain who's a yellow belt, who's a green belt, who's a black belt, who's a master black belt. Right now, all of us will be yellow belts, because you will be getting an idea about some of the tools and techniques. You will not be able to apply. You're not learning, but you're getting exposed to the capabilities of Lean and Six Sigma. You know what Lean and Six Sigma is capable of, but probably you can't do a project. Of course, if you're smart enough, even this learning is good enough to do a project, a quick project. I'll give you some tools. Maybe I'll not be able to explain some of the very, very good tools. I'll give you a link. You can use these tools next week when you're going back to your organization. you apply some of these tools. One of the tool is FMEA, failure modes and effects analysis. I'll tell you at the appropriate time. It is usually used in our improve phase or analyze phase. So that is something which definitely will create a good positive impact in any of your processes, whichever industry you belong to. Failure modes and effects analysis is a tool where you imagine how you would fail and then you prevent the fail. I'll talk about it after a while. So the yellow belts, they get exposure to the tools. They know how the tools are, what the tools are capable of doing. And I'll be showing you some of the tools. I'll be doing a project. Again, some more people have joined. So welcome those who have just joined. Just to repeat, I would be doing a project. So we'll be learning some tools and techniques, and I'll be showing the applications. Yeah. And because now, and those who have joined new, if you can write which industry you are from, just write in the chat box which industry you are from, so I can try to have a mix of examples. Because now I see people from various different industries. Then what I would do is we decided in a little while ago that we will take up a simple process which everyone can understand. Like I think people understand what is the procurement process, or rather than a simpler one would be a recruitment process. Everyone understands the recruitment process. So we'll try to reduce the recruitment cycle time. We'll do a project, but that project will start after maybe 20 minutes or so. Before that, I'll introduce you to some basic concepts. So yellow belts are the people who have got exposure. The green belts are the ones who can do the projects. The green belts are the ones who can do the projects. So I see some more people have joined. Some of them are in, again, healthcare, IT services, and yeah, okay. So towards the end, oil and gas also. See, towards the end, just remind me, because towards the end, you're getting too emotional. So we forget the things. Oil and gas, I'll show you one project from oil and gas, from the biggest oil company of the world, Aramco. For the last 10 years, we have been doing projects there. And personally, I have been involved there as well. So I'll try to show that. Apart from that, I've got some few IT projects also and health services also. Not sure I'll have the time for showing all these projects, but I'll briefly touch upon those things. But that will happen only after 2 hours. Yeah. So if you're willing to stay beyond 2 hours, I'll be happy to show these projects to you. Now, who are green belts? Green belts are the ones who actually can do the projects. They've not only learned the tools, but they have practiced the tools, and they also allocated, they are given a project, and then they do the project, and then they make a positive difference to the organization. That's what green belts are capable of. Now black belts can do bigger projects. They know more statistical tools. They know a little bit of what you call they can perform statistical gymnastics, or they can do ANOVA and chi-square test and multiple regression analysis and binary logistic regression. What the world today calls artificial intelligence, we have been teaching. Personally, I've been teaching this for the last 25 years. So first 10 years, I was in manufacturing industries. Then I became a black belt and realized that this is the way to go, because I was very good in statistical part. Those days you had to be good in statistical parts. Nowadays it's not required. Nowadays everything is done by the software. So you just click the right buttons. Yeah. So in the green belt, our green belt and black belt trainings, we just tell you how to use those, how to identify the type of data and how to use the tool. In just one click, you get your whole analysis. That's the beauty of it. Now you have to implement that. Then based on the analysis, you can get your root causes of your problem, and then you can give some solutions. So green belts can do good analysis. Black belts can do very, very highly statistically complicated analysis. And obviously their impact would be more. And they can, as a black belt, whatever tools and techniques you learn based on the p-values, you can even publish your results in the journals and worldwide. if you want, of course, and it will be trusted. And otherwise, if you are not interested, obviously, most of you may not be interested in it. But the black belts, based on a small sample size, that they can make very important conclusion, which will save the company's money, time, improve the productivity, efficiency, etc. So they are capable of contributing more. Typically, green belts, they save around $100,000 per project, and black belts, they save around $50,000 per, sorry, $500,000 per project. Now, this is like, it's not like you have to save that. Sometimes there could be intangible benefits also. We can translate those intangible benefits to tangible benefits. There are ways to do that. I'll not be discussing that today here in the yellow belt, but as a green belt, black belt, we teach you that as well. Master black belts are the ones who can guide the green belts and black belts as they do the projects. So they are the ones who can guide multiple green belts and black belts, and they can initiate the Lean Six Sigma in the company. They can also, they can also save millions of dollars for the company through collective use of your the tools and techniques, and also guiding multiple projects. They can also conduct training programs. They can become consultants. You can be an independent consultant, like me. I can walk into any organization, and with confidence, I can say that, yes, I can make a difference to your company. By the way, those who are interested, if you want to invite me in your organization, of course, first go through the program. If you find that I'm capable of doing that, obviously, I'll be happy to visit you anywhere in Australia. Or I keep visiting around 10 days a month. I'm in Middle East. So if you are from Middle East by any chance, then I can do that also. I keep visiting India as well every 2 months. So these are my areas where most of the time I'm doing my projects nowadays. Although I started with Europe, and the company got established in Denmark long time ago, 2006. I told that story in the beginning, but if you want, I can advise you as well. By the way, the yellow, green, black belt, and master black belts, I hope you have understood. Today you'll be a yellow belt. If you want to be a green belt, then again 4 or 5 days of training is there. You can join my online sessions, or you can join I'm conducting in Melbourne. I've not decided Melbourne or Sydney. My team can tell, but I'm conducting a training program. I think we can do in both cities in January. Yeah, but till then, every month I conduct online training programs. So anytime you want to become a green, black, and master black belt, green belts takes around total 25 hours of training, and we also do a project. I'll make you do a project as well, and same black belt also. It takes around 25, spread over the period of 2 weeks or so. Green belt and black belt. If you are joining Saturdays and Sundays batches, then it will be around 2 weeks of green belts and 2 weeks of black belts, Saturdays and Sundays, and another 2 to 3 weeks of master black belts. So around within 3-4 months, you can become a green, black, and master black belts. Or if you want to join the evening sessions, 2 hours, we do that. But yeah, that I'll give you the details towards the end. But now let us understand, what do we mean by lean and what do we mean by Six Sigma? Yeah. Lean is about identifying the wastes in the process. So typically we say that there are 7 or 8 types of waste in a process. We're not talking the waste which we throw in the dustbin, but these are the process wastes. They're not visible to naked eye, but they are present, like waiting times, transportation, unnecessary transportation. You'll be surprised to know that 50 to 60% of the transportation which we are engaged in is totally not required. So that's a waste. Over processing, giving to the customer more than what they want or they're asking for. Inventory, rework and rejections, underutilized. So these are all wastes. To satisfy our healthcare participants, maybe I'll show you a very brief, some examples of wastes in a hospital. Six Sigma is about reducing the variation in the product. So for that, maybe I'll give an example of a chocolate being produced 100. Let's say we want okay, here specification limit I have considered as 100 plus minus 3 grams. That time I had given an example of plus minus 5 grams, but let me here the example is as plus 100 plus minus 3 grams. So 100 plus minus 3 grams is the specification limit of the customers. So they want this to be 97 and this is 103. But when we see our production, we are sometimes giving less than 97 and more than 103. There's a lot of variation in the weight. These are all defects. So reducing the variation and bringing the process within the specification limit set by the customer, it is known as Six Sigma. Here I'm showing most of the manufacturing parameters would be two-sided. In services industry, it could be one-sided also, like complete this job within 10 days. So that could be one-sided specifications also. In either case, if you are within the specification limit, that means you're doing a good job. And if you're not, then obviously you are not doing a good job and you need to improve. Now, a combination of Lean and Six Sigma is known as Lean and Six Sigma because most of the companies now, they use Lean and Six Sigma both. Earlier, they used to be different. Nowadays, they have been combined together. Okay. So let me now proceed further. Okay, let me also come back to this diagram. And those who had joined earlier, they know what this diagram is. But those who have not, just have a look at it. And if you have not understanding anything, if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll just leave you with this diagram for 10 seconds. Just wanted to open the window so that, yeah. Now, going back this. So this is the value stream map, how we create the value. Now, every step, see, A, B, C, D, these are the steps. Not every step may be value added for your kind information. And there could be many sub-steps. I'm not writing all these here, but there could be multiple steps, hundreds of steps, which are not adding any value at all. But we are still engaged in these those process steps. Now, just to give you a little bit of simple example, I'll keep my example simple. You are a yellow belt. So let's say that you are producing a product. Let's say you are producing a car. And if you want to get the full information and detailed information, I have got a video also, which talks about, which goes by the name of flow. I'll give you a link and a flow where I have, using a Toyota example, I have explained the whole concept in detail. But for the time being, let me briefly explain it to you. Suppose you're manufacturing a car. And see, when I give you an example from an industry, for a Lean and Six Sigma, Black Belt or Green Belt, everything is an output customer. This model fits everywhere. Plus, these measures and your performance, they are all numbers. So we are interested in the numbers. That's it. And for us, there is only two types. There are only two types of data. I'll explain. Continuous data and attribute data. That's it. So for us, it doesn't matter. It's coming from logistics company, BPO company, IT company, healthcare industry. It doesn't matter. They are all numbers, and you know how to play with numbers and how to analyze those numbers, how to get to the root causes. And you are working with a process owner. So when you're doing a project, see, as a green belt or black belt, you may be doing a project in totally a different industry which you are not even aware of. I'm not a physician, I'm not a nurse, but I have consulted for more than 50 hospitals. I've got 35 years of experience total, so obviously 50 hospitals is not a big deal. Similarly, more than 25 manufacturing companies I have consulted for. They are from plastics, oil and gas, food industry, etc. But I'm not an expert in these areas. So how did I do the projects? So as a green belt or a black belt or a master black belt, you work with the process owner, the person who owns the process, and you also identify a sponsor. So sponsor is the department head. Yeah. Process owner is the manager of the process in whose process you are doing the project. And of course, you are a green belt or a black belt or an MBV. If you are a yellow belt, you're supporting the green belts and black belts. And if I continue with my car example, you can replace the car with your patience also. But if I go with a car, let's say I need my demand is 24 cars per day. 24 is a good number. Let me say, let's say 6 cars. 6 is it? 8 is 48. Let me change 48 for my ease of calculations. 48 cars per day, and I'm working for 8 hours. Let us say 8 hours. So 8, 8, 6 is 48, right? So let's just say customers arriving on an average in my showrooms, worldwide, of course, 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes, the customer is arriving, because 10 minutes would mean 6 cars, right? 6 cars per hour. And I'm working for, let's say, 8 hours. The company is working for 8 hours, although it can work for 24 hours, but just taking an example. So 8 hours, so it comes to 48. Yes. So 48 hours per day is our demand. That means 10 minutes I should produce. Every 10 minutes, a car should roll out of my company. Yeah. Now, if A takes 10 minutes, every one takes 10 minutes. This is 10. Everything is 10 minutes. Yeah. Sorry for that. I'm trying to write here 10 minutes. Yeah. Every step is taking 10 minutes. So just imagine what would happen. No. See, work in process units are there, and A, B, C, D. Every 10 minutes, there's a pulse. A completes its job, gives to B, B completes its job, gives to C. So every 10 minutes, a car is rolling out of the company. And there is no waiting time for the customer, and there is no waiting time. There is no work in process inventory also. But let's say B is taking 20 minutes. B is taking 20 minutes. What would happen? Obviously, there would be some queue here, waiting time. Now think of hospitals, think of a bank, think of an IT company. Everything is correlated. Now, although I'm giving an example of a car manufacturing, because I see a lot of manufacturing guys here, so we have to make a balance. So, but think of your process, and I hope you're understanding. So if this step is taking 20 minutes, this will be underutilized. Many times it will be just waiting. The step number C. And of course, the customer would be also waiting. Now, what happens? Let's imagine a department manager of D goes to some conference and he finds some automation. And nowadays he attends some AI conference, automation conference, robotic automation, etc., robotics. And he says, wow, whatever job I'm doing in 10 minutes, I can do in 2 minutes. And he installs it, like gets some $1 million approved, and say, wow, 10 minutes reduced to just 30 seconds or 2 minutes, let's say 2 minutes. Saved a lot of time. It's not going to impact the customer. And the customer would not have any impact. It's waste. This is a waste. You've wasted the company's money and resources if you have done that without identifying the constraint. We call it theory of constraints. So first you identify the constraint, do a project there. If you want to automate B. Or if you can't automate, put 2 stations of B of 10 and 10 minutes. Of course, both will be 20 and 20, But if you have two stations, there will be a flow. There will be a flow in the value stream. I hope you understand. Otherwise, this is the bottleneck. We want to create a flow which matches the demand. This 10 minutes, what I was talking about, is known as takt time. It's known as takt time. So this waiting time, queue, work in process, inventory, they are all process wastes, underutilized resources. I just gave you an example of 4 or 5 wastes here. Waiting time, B was taking 20 minutes, so C was underutilized resources. That's a waste. Queue is a waste. Waiting time is a waste. Over processing, maybe if we are in B, we are doing some unnecessary things, so maybe it could be over processing. And what else was there? Transportation, maybe could be. I did not give an example here, but transportation, like let's say, imagine that we have got multiple warehouses. We're going to A, then B, and C, and D. Unnecessarily, if we are doing it, then obviously all these wastes, if you identify and reduce them, that's what is known as a lean approach. Lean. So our healthcare friends should not feel that I'm ignoring them. So let me give an example of some wastes in the healthcare industry. And just to remember those 7 or 8 wastes, now they have also introduced one more, 8th waste, waste of intelligence. You've got lots of intelligent people, but you don't never utilize their minds. PhD is hired and given a data entry job. That's a waste of your intelligence. So that's also. So you can say I swim too. There's one acronym for that. Or you can use Tim Woods. This is also very popular, especially in US. Tim Woods. You rearrange them and you can get Tim Woods. Or you have, there's one more thing, downtime. Whatever you find interesting, you can just use I swim too, Tim Woods, downtime. There are all 8 wastes to remember. I'm just giving you some examples of waste. I did this for Chinese hospital. We did a Gemba walk. See, when you are identifying the waste, you do a Gemba walk. Gemba means go to the place of work. That's known as Gemba. Japanese word, Gemba. Gemba, Gemba walk. You do a Gemba walk, and when you do a Gemba walk, you find that these are your 10 steps of blood test process. Walking to the OPD, registering in the OPD, all these are not value added. If the customer is not willing to pay for the step and it is not bringing them closer, see, customer should be willing to pay for the step. Customer is interested in the value. What is the value from this blood test? The customer wants to know the health status, his or her health status. And then we're telling them, you please walk from here to there, then register somewhere, give that same information again and again 3 times in the hospital, waiting. All these are waste. I'm not willing to pay for that. These are all wasteful steps. Only 2 or 3 steps are process value added. So we identify the value added and separate the waste or non-value added activities, and try to reduce the non-value added activities using ESCAP analysis, ESCAP. Now, I'm going to speak much about this ESCAP analysis, but if you're interested in knowing, I'll give you a video. You can watch it. You can also subscribe to my channel, Anexas. There's my company channel, Anexas channel, where these tools and techniques, whatever I'm describing, have been explained in detail. And if you want, with an example, so with the help of one good example, I have explained ESCAP. What is ESCAP? Ask 5 questions on every process steps. Can I eliminate? E for eliminate. Can I eliminate? Can I simplify? S for simplify. Can I combine? C. Can I automate? Can I make it parallel? Yeah. So these 5 questions you ask on each steps. And you will be surprised to know that if you conduct this session for 1 or 2 hours with your team members, they would realize they're doing lots of stuff which is totally waste. You would change your process within 2 hours. Because your processes have been designed around 5 years ago, 10 years ago, sometimes 20 years ago. And sometimes you're doing some things, some stuff which is not necessary at all. You'll be surprised because you have never analyzed your process in the last 5 years, 10 years. Most of your processes which are designed 10 years ago, they don't know you have a WhatsApp today. And they don't know you have a chat GPT. Process designed 2 years ago doesn't know that you have a chat GPT today. So there are all outdated processes. Yeah. You never redesigned your processes after chat GPT. I'm just giving an example. You still have your, what do you call it, fax machines. You'll be surprised to know you have fax numbers, fax machines. In today's world, anything can be sent to anyone. All documents in just a few seconds. Still have fax numbers. So what kind of wastes the world is living with, so identify those wastes. So some of the wastes, like, 80% of the nurse calls are housekeeping in nature, like my bed sheet is dirty, pillow cover is dirty. That's non-value added for nurse intelligence. It's a waste of intelligence. She'll forget to give you the medicine if you do that. Similarly, I've done some projects in Australia as well as US. I'll not describe all of them, but the output was we could double the cardiology lab capacity from 8 to 16. Medicare, there's a huge opportunity for improvement. Although I very briefly did some projects in some 2 of the Australian hospitals, but I can say that it needs lots of black belts. Reduce diagnosis exam time, we reduced it. And how we did that? We identified the waste, etc. Approval is a huge waste. It is not adding any value. Reduce the approval, signatures, all these are all waste. You committed a mistake 10 years ago, your company, your process committed a mistake 10 years ago, and so you introduced one check or one inspection. Inspection is a waste, by the way. You should not have inspection. Why you are conducting inspection? Because you are sure that my team will produce errors, mistakes. Why? To train them not to produce errors or mistakes. Don't have any inspections. So these are all efforts you take to reduce the waste and create value for the customer. Unnecessary motion, unnecessary waiting, errors, etc. These are all waste. Underutilized resources, underutilized equipment, they are all waste. MD, walk, waste. Yeah, all these are some good examples. You'll not be realizing, but even the walk to elevator weight, etc. If you calculate it, we did it for one of the US hospitals. And if you have 200 nurses multiplied by 365 days, it runs into millions of dollars. These are all, one more concept, let us learn from lean, is mistake proofing, also known as pokayoke. Pokayoke, Japanese word, pokayoke. Mistake proofing or idiot proofing or fool proofing. Even a foolish person cannot commit a mistake. Yeah. Some examples like machines can't be set beyond normal, safe, or maximum levels. Yeah, automatically. Abnormal values are rejected. Oxygen, nitrogen cylinders can't be joined together. Means the lines couldn't be, like, you can't put oxygen in nitrogen line or nitrogen in oxygen's line because the connectors are different. So that's pokayoke. Some more examples like fixed number of packages during surgery, complete catheter kits for insertion so that you don't forget anything at the last moment, everything. These are all some examples. So I think I have satisfied my 33% of the people who are participants who are from healthcare, I think. Let me take some examples from other industries also. But yeah, let us do the project. As I told you that we'll be doing a project. In the last 1 hour, we'll be devoting some time to do a project. So now we will do a project. I'll show you a project, how it is done, how we follow DMAC, define, measure, analyze, improve, control. So when we are doing a project, the project comprises of 5 phases. DMAC, define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. DMAIC. So if you're a yellow belt, at least you should be aware of this part. You should be aware of value stream map. I showed it to you. VSM, also popularly known as VSM. You should have a systems thinking, as they say. I'm referring to that value stream map. Think about the system. Don't think about your department. See, if you are thinking, like, sorry, I'm just going back one point, I missed it. So maybe I'll tell you again. No, it are not important points I already discussed, but yeah, maybe I'll just add on to it here to this point that, see, when you are having, you're thinking about your department, my department, the C, I'm from C. I don't care what's happening in B and D. This is not a silo thinking. You're in a silo. But when you are having, this is my system. This is how my system is working. This is systems thinking given by Edward Deming. Edward Deming, quality guru, well-known quality guru, went to Japan and transformed the Japanese industries in the 50s and 60s. Highest quality award in Japan is known as Deming's Prize. That's what I just wanted to cover. Don't have silo approach, have systems approach. Now, coming back, when you're doing a Lean and Six Sigma project, either a green belt or a black belt, master black belts, of course, they are guiding the project. So green belt or black belt project, and whichever you are doing, you will always follow DMAC, define, measure, analyze, control. The difference between green and black belt will be only that black belt will be using some more complex tools, but both of them will be following DMAC. So whatever a green belt is doing, definitely black belt would be doing, but on top of it, something else he will be doing. I will just take you through a green belt project. I'll not enter into the black belt area right now. So when you're doing a project, in the define phase, you do SIPOC, VOC, and charter. So let me explain this again using the diagram first. SIPOC is some, you begin with a systems map. SIPOC, SIPOC, the miniature version of systems or value stream map is SIPOC. So quickly create a SIPOC of the process in which you are doing the project. So that's what is called as SIPOC. You collect the voice of customer, and we have collected, let's say, voice of customer. Customer says, I want something within a specific time. So that was voice of customer. We converted it to a CTQ. So you believe that you cannot improve if you cannot measure. And second thing, you can measure everything. So there are two rules, or three rules rather. First rule is you can measure. You can't improve if you cannot measure. Second rule is you can measure everything. And third rule is if you think something cannot be measured, go back to rule number 2. Rather, I would say that if you think something cannot be measured, probably it is categorical data and you have to find a measure. And I'll tell you how to put a measure to anything which is qualitative in nature. In a short while, we'll learn that in the measure phase. So we started the project. Now we want to reduce recruitment cycle time in the company. This was an engineering company. And a long time ago, I did the project. See, we can show you projects which are 10 years old or more. And then companies are fine with that. I'm not going to show you the full project anyway. I'm just taking you through some of the basic concepts and steps. So you form a team. Now you identify your sponsors. Sometimes you call them champions also. And here, obviously, the department head is the HR director. Process owner is the recruitment manager. I was the master black belt. We had green belts and black belts doing the projects. We start with the SIPOC. We identify the recruitment process. How? Because the problems are in the processes, not in the people. The same people will deliver excellent results if you change the process. But if you keep this process same, you keep changing the people, you will get the same results. So you start with a SIPOC, a high-level process map, where you identify the customers. Whenever you are doing a SIPOC, you start with the customers first. You identify the customers. Here, the departments who are asking for the they're asking for the candidates, the recruited employee. That's the output here. And the process, basic process steps, you write down. What are the inputs? Write down. This measure on the output, if you still remember, is known as Y. And the measures on the inputs and processes, we call them X factors. X factors. The measure on the output is Y. There could be multiple measure. Recruitment time could be a measure. Accuracy of recruitment, whether you're getting the right candidate or not, that's a measure. Behavior of the HR department employees, that could be a measure. Why they're recruiting the employees. So you could, you can design certain measures. And one of the CTQs usually is assigned to the green belt. So here we have assigned recruitment time. That is our CTQ. That is our Y. I hope you are with me. Any questions? If you are getting confused, let me know. Yeah. So if you're still okay, I can raise the bar. I can teach you some complicated topics as well. We'll enter into the green belt from yellow belt. Of course, yellow belt will cover basic topics. I can also cover some of the green belt topics also. So if you are with me till now, that's great. Now, if I take you to the next step of defined phase. Okay, anyway, this is I'll just skip this video. But generally,
we are discussing about the Lean and Six Sigma interview questions. Let me talk about CPHQ. CPHQ is a tool derived from Deming's.
These types of videos also we give if you're preparing yourself for an interview. Like say once you say that you're a green belt or black belt. Sometimes in the interviews they'll ask you, you claim to be a black belt. What do you mean by DMAC? Etc. So then you should be able to defend yourself. So we also give those. There are more than 20 videos, like 3 minutes videos explaining some of the commonly asked questions in the interviews. Okay, coming back now, let us understand whenever we talk about data. Whenever we talk about data, people usually have 3 responses. Oh, we don't collect the data. Well, I've never thought of collecting that data, or I've got too much of data. Or some people say analysis is too complicated. All these excuses are not, they're all history nowadays because you have got tools and techniques. One of the important mindset you have to have is that you can't improve if you cannot measure. And second is you can measure everything. How? By understanding that there are 2 types of data: continuous data and attribute data. Continuous data, it can be represented on a number line. Number line means it has got like minus infinity to plus infinity. Any number is possible. Like procurement time, 55.5 days. Yeah. Or age, 57. I think my age, I could put 56.9 years. Yeah. Or 9, no, 58, September, I'll be 57. Anyway. So you see a commonality here. There's a decimal point, always possibility of a decimal point. And there is a unit, always. There will be a unit, like chocolate, weight of the chocolate, 101.2 grams. These are all units. You have a unit, there's a possibility of a decimal point. We call them as continuous data because they can be represented on a continuous scale. Then we have got our attribute data. Attribute data is something which we feel we cannot measure. If I ask people, can you measure? Well, tell me what you cannot measure. They will say, well, I cannot measure feelings. I cannot measure love. I cannot measure happiness. Okay. You can, of course, you can measure. So let's say I'll use. Hi. Also, when you join my training sessions, you also get all these videos, all these explanations with the videos you get. So whatever I'm teaching, you get the videos of all topics. We do the projects as well in the classroom. So I'll just
have a decimal place. It can also have any attribute continuous data because they all have a possibility of a decimal, means they can.
So here examples of continuous data, you see age, height, etc. My age when I was making this video was 52.5 years. Okay. So So this is all continuous data, right? Now, if I further go ahead,
can be expressed in decimal points, and also they all have a unit. Now let us talk about attribute data. Attribute data can be expressed in categories, and categories can be counted. Say, for example, if you want to measure happiness, so easiest way to measure any attribute data is to create a category, and if possible you can create a binary category. A presence or absence of that attribute can be.
See, what I'm trying to explain here is whenever you want to put a measure to anything, any attribute, satisfaction. So you can create 5 categories: highly satisfied, satisfied, neutral, dissatisfied, highly dissatisfied. So the first step is to create a category and then count how many the data points, whatever you collected the data, how many belong to which category. The counts, you will always get counts. And counts is a number, it looks like a number, but doesn't have a decimal place. So it doesn't become a continuous data. It still remains attribute data. And to make sense out of that count, see, count itself is meaningless. Count itself is meaningless. And to make sense out of data, you have to have proportion. I'll explain that why I'm saying that count is meaningless in a short while. But first, let's look what this young chap is telling me. Hi, I'm Amitabh.
Tools and
oh, I click there. Yeah.
You can create a binary category. A presence or absence of that attribute can be one of the simplest categories. So if I take the example of happiness, 2 categories I can create: happy, unhappy. So if I want to increase the happiness in the employees in the organization, then I can always count how many employees are happy. Let's say 60 employees are happy and 40 employees are unhappy. I can express this as proportion. That means proportion of happy employees in my organization is 0.6 and proportion of unhappy employees is 0.4. And it can also be expressed as percentage. Now this proportion or percentage, they don't have a unit. And a count like 60 employees, I can't have 60.1 employees who are happy. So the count will not have any decimal point. So this is what continuous data and attribute data is. It is very important to know the difference between continuous and attribute data. And it is very important to understand what is continuous data and what is attribute data, because the tools which you are going to use in the measure and analyze phases, they depend on what type of data you are dealing with.
So see, depending on the data type, you can choose your tools. That's what I was saying. The measure phase, I'll explain that part. But oh, sorry, let me, one more point, let me, yeah. I was telling you, that the count doesn't make any sense. So if I, let me give an example. See here, let's say I've got your, let's say nurses in a hospital. They're providing some vaccination. And once you receive always, complaints from the patient. So complaints 10 for nurse A, you receive 10 complaints per week, and B, you receive 20 complaints per week on an average. If I ask you who's better, complaint means after that, you administered the vaccine, I'm having some pain in my arm, let's say. Who's better? So most of the people will say A is better. But a green belt or a black belt will say, sorry, number of complaints is a count. It's attribute data. You're giving me information about only one category. What about the other category? What about the no complaints? So, and let's say I tell you that nurse dealt with 100 patients and we dealt with 200 patients. The proportion means portion out of 1. If the circle is 1, so here complaints is 10.1 And no complaint is 0.9, 0.1. Proportion of complaints here also 1.1, here also 0.1 or 10. Sometimes people are habitual of percentage, so even percentage I can say. Here in my this example, this would be 60%, 40%, and this would be in my example here it would be 10% and 10%. And both nurses are same. Yeah, sorry for that. So here, yeah. So I hope you understood. The count is meaningless. Sometimes we make wrong decisions because we just get lost in the counts. So as a green belt or black belt, you will always look for these further analysis. Now coming to the last tool of the defined phase. We are still in defined phase. So defined phase, we write a project charter and we clearly write here problem statement and a goal statement. So we are at 50 days and we like to reduce it to 30 days. And if we do that, we'll save some money for the company. Okay. And we put some timelines. I'm not going to the details of that, but project charter, you write a problem statement, a goal statement. Now you've set the direction. Now, in the measure phase, you actually collect the data. What actually is the recruitment time? What is my real recruitment? Y is the symptom, X are the causes. So you would not only collect the data on X factors, but also the Y. Not only collect the data on Y symptoms, but also the X factors. Yeah. This is the result. But these are the causes. So if you focus only on the result, you'll just get stress or some tension. You'll be tensed. Focusing on result gives you tension. But if you focus, you can't do anything about the result. The result is not in your hand. It will be delivered by the system. But you can do something about the X factors. But not all X factors need your attention. Only 20% need. Means you have to apply 80-20 rule. 80-20 is a Pareto principle. Let me ask you, how many of you know Pareto, 80-20 rule, Pareto? 80% of the problems are due to the 20% of the reasons or anything, your output. Like 80% of the revenue in your company is coming from 20% of your products. Suppose you have got 100 products, 20 products, 20% of them are giving you 80% of your total revenue. Have you heard of this? If you can let me know. Have you heard of this Pareto principle? 80-20 rule. How many of you have heard? Only few people. Others have not heard, I'm assuming. Well, I'll explain. See, Vilfredo Pareto was an Italian economist who found that 80% of the wealth in Italy was with 20% of the people. He called this the 80-20 rule, and then he realized that the 80% of the crop production in Italy was again, it belonged to 20% of the total types of crops. So this is true everywhere, and in quality, Joseph Juran applied this for the first time, and he said that 80% of your problems, 80% of whatever you are trying to solve, is due to the 20% of your causes. So if you've got 10 causes, possible causes, only 2 causes are responsible for 80% of your result, and that's where you should focus on. But you should get this 20% using data analysis. And that's what we are going to do. So Y is the effect, X is the cause. Y is the symptom, X is the real problem. Okay. So what we do is we collect the data. That's what they collected the data. And here, you also define what is a defect for you. Any recruitment taking more than 60 days is a defect. You count the number of defects. There's something called DPMO, defects per million opportunities. Rather than defects percentage. Percent is out of 100. You make per million. There's a simple formula for that. I'll not be describing that in our yellow belt session. But when you count the number of defects, convert them into million opportunities, then you get a sigma level. So lower sigma level would mean you are at your quality is very poor. High level of defects correspond to low sigma level. And when your quality is really good, just 3 defects in 1 million opportunities, just 3 defects, approximately 3.4 defects in 1 million opportunities. That means you're really good, you're at 6 sigma. Yeah. But I won't describe too much about that part in our yellow belt session. But one more thing which is related and which might be of interest to you, is applicable in our case here, is that one interesting find of Mr. Gauss, Carl Friedrich Gauss, in 17th century. He found that all repetitive processes, they follow a distribution like this. If I plot a measure, say, for example, if let's say our recruitment time, 50 days is on an average my recruitment. Most of the times you'll find my recruitments taking place within 50 days. Sometimes they're going up to 55, 60, 65, 45, 40, and 35. Yeah. Now, this is typical of any repetitive process. Suppose you take your traveling time every day to your office. Let's say you are taking on an average 50 minutes. I'm just extrapolating the same examples to your traveling time. 50 minutes. You are not always taking 50 minutes. Sometimes you go up to 65 minutes. Sometimes you go up to 35 minutes. So that's what this type of distribution means. It's also known as normal distribution. If I just convert into a probability distribution, it becomes normal. Why normal? Because it's normal to obtain a normal distribution in most of the processes. Like if I had, I'm not going to do that, but if I collected the data of all the participants, ages of all the participants, or heights of everyone, it would follow normal distribution very easily, I can say. If I were to collect the data on salaries, monthly salaries of all of our participants, it will follow normal distribution. Work experience, it will follow normal distribution. So this is so normal to obtain a normal distribution. That's why it's known as normal probability distribution. Looks like a bell shape. Now, Gauss, he found another thing, very interesting thing, that your, this probability distribution will have an average. Of course, average will be there. And it will also have a standard deviation. So let's say here average is 50 and standard deviation is 5. Okay. Average and standard deviation is 5. So he said that if you just collect 30 samples, it's a magical number. If you just collect 30 samples, not necessarily always 30, even 25 would do. But 30 is like a optimized sample size. And statistically, it can be proven. In our black belt session, we prove it also. Very easily, we can prove. But if you collect 30 samples, approximately 30, 35, 25, you will, if you calculate average and standard deviation, which can be easily calculated, if you are interested in what is standard deviation, how to manually calculate, and if you want to derive the formula, I have done it in another video. You can, if you are very much interested, you can always watch that. Nowadays, you don't need to calculate anything, your softwares, your Excel sheet, everything will generate all these things. But some of you might be inquisitive. So even you can watch my video, which I'll give in the chat box. You can just store all these links with you, and later on you can watch. What he found was that if you just collect 30 samples, you can predict about the whole population. The population could be 10,000 or 1 million or 1 billion, doesn't matter. Just 30 samples will give you enough information about millions. And your population, I'm talking about the population, not the sample, would lie within plus and minus 3 times the standard deviation. So here in my case, this is 50, 1 standard deviation, 2 standard deviation. 1 standard deviation, because standard deviation is 5, this will be 55. This will be 60 and 65. You have to add 5, 5, 5. Here, minus 1 times standard deviation, so this will be 45. This will be 40, and this 35. So I've just hurriedly told you, but I'll leave you with this for maybe 2 minutes, and I'll just get a glass of water very quickly. It's a sort of a break for, let's say, 3 minutes exactly. But if you don't need a break, then just watch this. And if you have not understood, just ask me a question after 3 minutes. So I'll leave you with this, a 3-minute break, quick, and then I'll be back. So welcome back, and I hope you're still around. So great. And I think some new participants have joined. Okay. So we have finished 75% of our the talk, but the video will be available to you. So don't worry. So those who have joined midway, don't worry. The video will be given to you. Yes. So I just wanted to check any questions on whatever I just told you. If you have not understood, let me know. Okay, great. I'm assuming that everyone is fine. Now the Gauss theory. Okay. Yeah, if I see how we create it, it's very easy. I'll just show you. Nowadays, you. See, this is the recruitment time. I've just taken 15 samples here. And the beauty of any process, you'll be surprised to know, they are all normally distributed, except for, of course, there are other distributions also. See, I'm talking about continuous data is normally distributed. Attribute data, it is either binomial or Poisson distributed. That we tell you in our green belt session, so let's not worry too much about it. But most of the data, which are normally distributed, let's talk about it. When you come to my green belt session, I give you this software also. These softwares are available, very downloadable software. Nowadays, everything is free. But you need to get trained on it, right? So I'm just making a histogram here. This is how the process looks like. Average is 50 and standard deviation is 4.7, which I'm assuming to be 5. This, how did I get it? Means you don't have to calculate, but if you want, the explanation would be that average was 50 plus 1 time standard deviation. What was the standard deviation? 5. So 50 plus 5, 55. 55 plus 5, 60. 60 plus 5, 55, and so on and so forth. Minus 3 sigma and plus 3 sigma, they are known as control limits. Lower control limit and upper control limit. Now, please remember, this control limit is different from the specification limit. This was SL, specification limit. Or what is control limit? Control limit is voice of process. As if your process is telling that, I behave between 35 days to 65 days. Although the customer wants that it should be within 60 days or within 50 days or whatever. The specification limits is set by the customer, that you can call it as voice of customer. But voice of process is what is defined by voice of process. It's defined by the minus and plus 3 times the standard deviation, plus minus 3 times specification. LCL and UCL, lower and upper control limits. And if I represent that on a horizontal line, like the same thing, this is 35, which is LCL, and this is 65, which is UCL. My process would behave like this. Now, if you are an IT company, you can say this is your delivery time. 50 days is your delivery time of a typical project. Similar kinds of projects. But you have a standard deviation. Not all projects are getting delivered at 50, sometimes 35, sometimes 65. This variation exists. But if you give me around 20 to 30 samples from your past projects, I can tell you average and standard deviation. I can predict about all your projects of that particular category. that minimum you take 35 days and maximum you take 65 days. Yeah. So we make our control chart. We call it as control chart. And that's also easily done in our mini tab. I'm using mini tab right now. Just say, please give me a control chart, and it will give you the control chart. So it tells you that, because it's taking the actual not rounded off number. So 36 to 64 days is my typical recruitment time. Now I'm not happy with my process. I would like to reduce it. So today I am here and I would love to have this process somewhere here. So the whole objective of a Lean and Six Sigma project is to shift the control elements. Yeah. Let us say our customer is telling that you should be below 50. This 50 is my, let's say 50 days. You should be below 50. So obviously you are producing 50% of your recruitment are defective recruitments. 50% or 50% would mean in 1 million, it would be how many? 1 million. 500,000 defects in 1 million. This corresponds to 1.5 sigma. Don't worry about how we are getting this number. It's very easy. I'll not explain this right now, but there's a table, the automated calculations. Right now I'm at 1.5 sigma. 50%, 500,000 defects per million opportunity. I would like to reduce it. Imagine if my control limits become 20 to 40, I am almost in zero defects. Very rarely, once in a while, in 1 million recruitments, I'll go beyond 50. I'll be at a Six Sigma. See, you don't have to be at Six Sigma in this particular measure. Even if you are at 1.5, you increase to 3, 4 Sigma also. 99% of your recruitments are within that. That's enough. Yeah. Not all processes need those types of values. It depends on what your requirements are. Now, how would you do that? Well, you need to do proper analysis. So what you'll do, you'll proceed with the analyze phase. In the analyze phase, you can do either follow process door or data door or both. Process door would mean as is process map. Make an as is process map. Gemba walk. I hope you still remember Gemba walk. Those who joined a little late, Gemba means go to the field, go to the place of action, place of work, place of action, and observe how things are taking place. You'll find a lot of waste there. To identify the value added and non-value added steps and try to reduce the non-value added or wasteful steps. Data door is about cause and effect diagram, control impact, Pareto, box plots, scatter plots, ANOVA, chi-square, etc. Yeah. Some of you are, one of you are raising your hand. Yeah. Shane, you're raising your hand and just let me know in case you have a question. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, sir. It was by mistake.
Okay, fine. No problem.
Yeah.
So cause and effect diagram, control impact matrix, Pareto chart, box plots, and scatter plots. Let me give a brief overview of this. You map the process, apply escape analysis. I hope you still remember. If not, I have given you the video link. You can observe, watch, and learn with an example. I have explained escape analysis. Try to change the process. Some of the low-hanging fruits, if you can get, why not? Or get hold of the people and ask them all the possible causes. What are all the possible causes of your problems? And make a cause and effect diagram. Sometimes you use man, machine, measurement, methods, material, mother nature. So it's 6 M's. Try to get your exams and generate as many causes as possible. And then after that, you can collect further data, or you can do a quick voting. If you want quick analysis, obviously you should properly go back to those recruitments, try to collect the data and identify the real causes. But for the time being, either you can, I'll show you examples of both. So a quick voting, if you ask people to vote, like if I give you 10 points to everyone, distributed 10 red dots, amongst all these factors, and they'll give you something. Or better still, here it is done for these recruitments. Maybe you study some 50 recruitments which went beyond 50 or 60 days. Oh, by the way, yeah, cause and effect diagram also can be done in Minitab, just to show you. And now everything is automated. We just wait for 10 more years, or the whole project will be completed. Yeah. But someone should be there to interpret it. That's why we still have to learn. So the delayed recruitment is due to so many causes. Okay, well, what were the reasons? So let's identify those reasons. Now here your ChatGPT will not help you. You have to actually collect the data of your process, your own process. And you find that these were the reasons. Which reason occurred most? So you can either tabulate, or if you are using a Minitab, you don't have to even do that. Minitab will generate the Pareto analysis. So Pareto, I was explaining earlier also that 80-20 rule. So if you you ask Pareto you ask Minitab to do a Pareto analysis, tells you that assessment time, job description not available, approval time, types of hiring, they are combined together. If you combine them together, the first one is contributing to 35%, 25%, 17%. So first two or three, so three or four are contributing to almost, first three are contributing to 80, 77.5, or if you want to include the fourth one, is 92.5%. So we'll choose all these four causes and ignore the rest, because there are so many combined others together. It's just contributing to less than 5%. So just forget about them. This is one way of doing the analysis. Suppose I want to do much more in-depth analysis. I want to validate before I take some action. It said approval is approval delay. Approval time, is it really impacting? Job description, available, not available. Is it impacting? Type of hiring, assessment time, recruitment time. These are our X factors, possible X factors, which I got from Pareto. I'm further investigating. Is it really the root cause? So what we would do is, we will do further analysis. So I'll quickly tell you about this. So when we're trying to correlate two factors, the Y and X, and both of them are continuous data, you will do a scatter plot. Say, for example, here, recruitment time and approval time. Is approval time a root cause? Well, by doing an scatter plot, you may feel, yeah, this is positively related, means approval time increases, the recruitment time also increases. I would say yes, approval time is one of the causes. If I reduce it, it will impact the recruitment time. But if this is the case, I would say, sorry, you approve in 2 days or 20 days, you still take 50 days, 60 days, 70 days. There's no relation. So why to waste time on improving the approval process? Something else is responsible, not the approval, but something else. Similarly, if I'm dealing with continuous and attribute data, see, continuous and attribute combination, like for example, let us say here, job description availability, is it impacting the recruitment time? Well, let me see. Is it impacting? Well, one is attribute, one is continuous. I will not be using scatter plot. I'll use something called as box plot. So job description available and not available. When it is available, my time, recruitment time is less. When it is available, not available, my recruitment time for those candidates was high. So it means job description availability matters. And what I would do, I'll ensure the job description available throughout the organization. In the next 10 days, I'll instruct everyone to write the job description so that whenever they need any employee, quickly, I can recruit. But suppose this is the case. Job description is available or not available. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Like available, 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 not available, not available, not available. Available, I'm recruiting in 32 days, 33 days. Not available, 45 days, 50 days, 55 days. So here I would say job description availability matters. Yeah. But suppose this is the case. Even the job description was not available, but still I could recruit the candidate in 30 days. So then in that case, job description availability is not the root cause. Something else is the root cause. Maybe the approval time. Maybe approval time. Maybe some other factor, but not the job description. So based on the data, you are making a decision. So I just showed you some very, okay, I'll show you this also in case you are interested. It's so easy to make your charts, graph charts. Assessment time. Oh, assessment time is not impacting, not related. Let's look at approval time. Approval time, is it impacting? So in few clicks, you or most of you have got this data with you. The few clicks. Here it appears that it is impacting. Yeah. Means approval time is, I would suggest something there. Similarly, recruitment time versus job description availability. Let us do a box plot. If you are interested in learning about more box plot, what exactly it is, I have made a video. My team will put a link there. You can always watch that. Job description here, job description availability. Yeah, it is impacting because when job description is available, 40 to 50 days, not available, around 55 to 54 to 53 to 60 days. So this is how you do. And then after that, obviously, you'll not just feel happy about getting the causes, but you have to, by the way, this is the summary, what, if I was analyzing single column, like recruitment time, we did a histogram, if you remember. Attribute data, single column, we could do Pareto chart or pie chart also is possible. When we have got two factors, both, one is continuous, one is attribute, we did a box plot. Both are continuous, you do a scatter plot. So these are simple rules and you can follow when you are doing a project. Our trainings are live training, recording available for lifetime access. 2 projects are done in the class. And project guidance provided for lifetime. Whenever you are doing a project, anytime, you can come to us and I'll be guiding you. Email guiding is free. If you want a one-on-one session regularly, then obviously some fees is there. And of course, lifetime association with me in the sense that people who I have been conducting training programs for the last 25 years. I did mention that somewhere in the beginning, total 35 years of experience. So 25 years I've been teaching, and yeah, I'm still in touch with my old students. By the way, now improvement is also important. So you have to
Once we have collected the data in the measure phase, now it is time to analyze. After all, we have collected the data to analyze and get the root causes. How would you do that? You can follow two doors, process door and data door.
So all these videos are given to you, and brainstorming you have to follow some brainstorming rules. Maybe I'll skip those videos, but
who's participating. So tell them to participate, and you can use different techniques. As I told you, we'll be learning in the improve phase. Capture all the ideas, so document all the ideas.
So these are some of the rules of brainstorming. Maybe the last two are a little important. I'll just talk about it.
One of the rules complete the brainstorming within the time duration and defer evaluation. Now this is one of the rules which is often violated. People start discussing the ideas. Someone gives an idea and someone else says, well, it will not work in an organization. Or some other person gives an idea and someone else comments that, wow, it's a great idea. So don't evaluate. Reserve your comments for evaluation at a later stage. When you are generating the idea, when you are generating the root causes, they are not to be evaluated. You cannot say that it is a good idea or this is a very good root cause which you have thought of. No evaluation, just write down whatever is being suggested. Generate quantity, do not worry about the quality at the initial stages. So you have to generate lots of root causes, lots of solutions, more the better. A pearl diver, he dives into the sea to find the pearls. If he just collects 10 oysters, the probability of getting the pearl is very low. But if he collects thousands of oysters, the probability of getting the pearl is very high. So similarly, if you want to collect great ideas, some of the out-of-the-box ideas, some creative ideas, then definitely you should create more and more ideas.
So there are a lot of great ways of collecting idea. You learn all these things. 65 technique. If you are interested in 65 techniques, I'll give you the video. You can watch that. FMEA I was talking about. If you remember FMEA, failure modes and effectiveness, very, very powerful tool. Do watch it. I think it has been watched by 1.5 million, sorry, 1.7 million people. And always, you will find, I'm sure you'll find it very, very useful. But yeah, when you're joining my Greenbelt session, I actually teach you. If you want to just watch the video, you can always, with an example I've explained, you can always watch that. But please do watch this video at least, and you can apply FME. Just quickly do an FME. It takes hardly 1 hour or so. Just do an FME, you'll see the difference. Yeah, so in the improvement, you've got the root causes, you get your solutions, you implement the solutions, make an implementation plan for these solutions, and then in the control phase, you ensure that these improvements last for a long, long time. And that's what is important. See, these instruments should last for a long time. See, sometimes we improve something, but we just forget about controlling. Then this project becomes a waste. Like you have put in so much of efforts. Finally, after 3-4 months, you could go back to the original state. So that's definitely not going to help you. So with you obviously would love to hold the gains. And when you are holding the gains, you would, the company will be benefited more. Okay, now let me share my screen. So before and after, again, you make a chart, before and after savings. You can see the control limits have changed. There is a systemic shift. System has shifted where it was earlier. Now it's operating with new control limits. That means there's a statistically significant improvement where you can use a 2T test. We teach you that as well in the class. And that's how you do a typically DMAC project. Let's play a game. The inputs to a process are called the X's, the Y's, out of scope, or gauge under our right question will give you $10,000. Virtual game, virtual money. Yeah, can you answer this question? Yeah, so the inputs, what are the inputs? Inputs to a process are called inputs and outputs. You can change if you want to change. What are the inputs to the process? Inputs are known as X factors and outputs are known as Y's. Yeah. Yes. So right answer. Yeah. Output of a process. What is output of a process? Output of a process. Yeah, it is Y is the output of the process, or you can say what the customer sees, right? Yeah. Absolutely. And which is not a deliverable of DMAC analyze phase. So what is not in analyze phase? What is not coming in analyze phase? So analyze phase is about getting the root cause, right? If you remember, improve is about the getting the solutions. Control is about holding the gains. Yes, so most of you are given the right answer. Super excellent. You've won $1 million. Yeah. Okay, great. Now, if you are interested in joining my sessions, now you have reasons to collect the data, and you'll get, if you'd like to become one of the most valuable person in the company by applying process improvement statistical tools, and if you'd like to become a green belt, black belt, or master black belt, or even project management PMP certified, you can join my courses. I'll give you the dates. Physical training in Sydney and Melbourne, I'm going to conduct in January 2026, but till then, it's online. So just go with online. If you're joining my online sessions, which is not very costly, the offline session in the classroom, you will get full 50% off. But both are same right nowadays. It's almost same. So, but yeah, but you can still join in. You can join at a very fraction of a cost, not even 50%. I think you'll get 75% discount if you're joining the online session, or online is good enough for you. Yeah, so you will be getting it you will develop a great capability. You can become an independent consultant also. The dates, if you're interested, I'll give you the dates as well. So the dates are given here, my online sessions. January, one in Sydney, one in Melbourne, I'll be doing. But till then, we're starting 27th May. We are starting 27th May. Or another batch on 30th June. If you join Saturdays and Sundays batch, weekends batch is Saturdays and Sundays for you, Australia. And you can also join evening, like 2 hours every day. For you, it will be a little late. It will be around 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. But if enough people are interested, I can run a batch like in the evening as well. I think best would be Saturdays and Sundays batch. 3 days of training will make you the green belt, and 3 days. So if you want to go up to master black belt, within 3 months on weekends, if you just study, you will become a master black belt. Yes. Any other information you would like to give? If you want to register, you can register for my courses, and let me know in case you are interested. I'll give you all the details, the timing, the fees. If you join today or tomorrow, you'll get a 50% discount on the fees. And if you join our session from January, if you join online, the offline session comes to you virtually for free. We'll be charging only the hotel charges, whatever they should take, that the booking room charges. That's it. The accreditations are there. All the well-known bodies, they have accredited us. So your certificate is worldwide valid. Can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah, so these are the fees, and you can convert Australian dollars. If there will be a 50% discount if you join today, and we can go ahead, please. If you join, there will be further discounts. So just let me know in case you see, best breed would be the green, black, and master black belt, and I think that will be something worth having before before you go to the next year, 2026, and then once you join our online sessions, definitely you can join our offline sessions too, virtually at no cost. Some of the upcoming free webinars are there. If you are interested, please feel free to join. These are the dates given here, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn. So my LinkedIn profile, if you can interact with me on LinkedIn, I can answer your questions, whatever questions you have. And before I still remember, I was telling you that I'll be showing you some projects after 2 years. Sorry, 2 hours. I'm totally lost. So 2 hours. So those who want to stay over, I can show you some projects, or I can begin with telling you how we implement Lean Six Sigma in an organization. Let me show you that very quickly. Typically, what's the method of implementing? So, what's the process? How you would go about implementing Lean and Six Sigma in an organization. So typically, you select the projects, possible projects in different businesses, different departments. You create an infrastructure where you have a steering committee, and then champions, sponsors, black belts, green belts. Champions are the head of the departments or sponsors. They're the head of the departments, the process owners are there. And black belts and green belts are the people who are doing the projects. And first, we usually conduct a champions training for the senior management, and so that they understand what Lean Six Sigma is, so that they can suggest right kinds of projects. We select the projects, then the green belt training is done, and they are allocated to the projects. Then the black belt training is done, they are also allocated to the projects. And then facilitation of the transition plan. Like, if I'm doing it for organization, if you want, I can also make an online presentation to your organization. Just I'll be happy to conduct a session for your team if you want, similar session, yellow belt, which will be tailor-made to your kind of industry, your examples. If you can tell me your products beforehand, some of the KPIs, some of the services you are providing, I can convert the same example, the example I'll take from your industry. So online session, yellow belt is free. But if I'm doing it in the organization, then we choose the projects. So here you can see I'm doing a session for Novartis, like in Switzerland, where we're playing a game there, and we are convincing the power, convincing the participants about the power of Lean and Six Sigma, the tools and techniques. They solved the exams, solved some problem which was given to you. Here, another team I'm taking, like once you have got the projects, once the champions are trained, senior management are trained, then they've allocated the projects to green belts and black belts. Now they come to the classroom. So here are green belts who are
Your
coming.
team name 1, 2, 3. Anti-Muda. And your slogan 1, 2, 3. Green air, go! Okay. And your song 1, 2, 3. Yeah, go.
Let's go green! Let's go green! Let's go green! We are the champions! We are a team!
Wow.
Yay! Well done!
And your team name 1, 2, 3.
Una squadra!
Your slogan 1, 2, 3.
Together!
So, they are now choosing projects. And once they have done the project, they present to the senior management the way he is.
Well, we have Alex with us, and he has done excellent Lean and Six Sigma projects in National Healthcare Service and in hospitals. So, Alex, would you like to tell us something about it?
Hello, I'm Alex Wells, Head of Service Improvements at the Royal Liverpool University Hospital. I've been really fortunate to present today on how us as a trust are using Lean and Six Sigma principles to deliver better care for our patients. I've presented today on a lot of the work that we've done around how we've improved patient outcomes, reducing mortality, improving length of stay, and also talked about how we can actually realise some financial benefits from that. Over the past 2 years, we've been really fortunate that we've done some good work, and it's actually delivered us £2 million worth of quality efficiencies through delivering better patient care.
Yeah, so this is what, and then of course, lots of credentials we have from different companies, industries. So one more thing, I think, let me show you, theme parks. That was a very big surprise for us, how successful we could be in theme parks industries. This is the one. Disneyland also we have done. This is
So I reached out to our operations team and we headed straight here to Formula Rossa, one of the signature rides here at Ferrari World at Abu Dhabi, and we decided to work on how we could increase the reliability of the time it takes to update our queue time boards, because as you know, every minute that guest waits in a queue line is super important.
We had the brainstorming session with the team and we went through a few topics and then we chose the most appropriate one for the course. The chosen topic was reduce facilities management service request closeout time.
So I was eager to use statistics and data analytics to solve a business challenge. One of the challenges we had is the erosion of the retail per capita spend in Ferrari World Abu Dhabi, and that was my topic.
Well, actually being an HR professional, recruitment lead time has been always a problem across the board. So taking that subject in specific will help me improve onto the recruitment cycle.
So what we had worked on was redesigning the product launch process, which we've now implemented.
We had a discussion within our team and the most critical area that we faced was our closing process. So we decided among ourselves that this is the one that we should go for.
Yeah, the course that we did was a week-long online facilitated course. It was fantastic. It showed us the whole methodology behind Lean Six Sigma, and it also provided a various amount of tools that we could be able to use to improve all of the existing processes that we have here in the park.
Well, it was 1 week training. It was very interesting and always energetic in terms of interaction in the class. Every single day has been different and the knowledge sharing has been remarkable.
This gave us a broader perspective to understand the issues, and
yeah, so typically, they get excellent benefits, typically, and I would also like to invite you for my training program. So just do join me. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. So my LinkedIn, I think my team has given the LinkedIn. My LinkedIn Yeah, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I can ask questions, and it will be a pleasure to connect with you. I've already received some few of your connection requests. Let me. Yes. Thank you for that. A lot of you have yeah, thank you. Akil is there. Okay, fine. Okay, so I've just accepted all the LinkedIn connections requests, whatever you. Whoever had requested. Yeah. Yeah. So let me show you some manufacturing related. If my team can show nothing like it, otherwise I will just show you. Manufacturing, Lean Six Sigma manufacturing, then
just a minute, sir.
Yeah, or after that, I think I can show you.
The world we have created is the product of our own thinking, and we cannot improve the world without improving our thinking. The long-term chronic problems of manufacturing companies like low productivity, lower machine efficiency, high rework, high inventories, high product wastage can't be solved using only experience, logic and intuition. You might be a good operations person, a good engineer or an excellent operator, but you need to have basic knowledge and understanding of some problem solving and process improvement tools too. Here is how Lean Six Sigma can improve your processes in manufacturing. Lean Six Sigma is defined as a business improvement method that aims to maximize the shareholders' value by improving the quality, speed, customer satisfaction, and reduce the costs. It merges tools and principles from both Lean and Six Sigma to do this. It has become the most popular business strategies for deploying continuous improvement in the manufacturing industries. With its help, you can make sure that only essential steps remain in a process. The moment I say Lean Six Sigma techniques, high quality, low cost, increased profits, and customer satisfaction should automatically come to your mind. It is very rightly said that machines are mere pieces of metal if they cannot be made efficient. Lean Six Sigma helps you to do this. What is the core of Lean Six Sigma? It's DMAC. Yes, define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. It helps you to reduce the existing problems with unknown causes. Here we train the staff of the manufacturing units as the green belts and black belts, and they convert all the problems into improvement projects. So now the difficulties become opportunities. Then they complete these projects and get certified. It's a win-win for both the organization and the employees. Now, how does Lean Six Sigma decrease the cost? Shigeo Shingo said that the most hazardous waste is the waste that we do not recognize. Firstly, Lean Six Sigma focuses on removing the 7 wastes like overproduction, transportation, inventory, etc. from a process. In manufacturing sector, this step can lower the cost of a process by leaps and bounds. Secondly, Lean Six Sigma focuses on solving the problems caused by a process. Here we focus on the processes, not on people, because we believe that 85% of the problems are due to the processes and not due to the people. Defects in your product can cost your organization a fortune, so the focus is on reducing the defects by focusing on the processes. Let me talk about some Lean Six Sigma tools that can be used in manufacturing. Value stream mapping, Kanban, 5S, cause and effect analysis, control charts, DMAC, 5 Whys, Kaizen, hypothesis tests, etc., etc., etc. Let us talk about a few. 5S. A well-organized workplace becomes important if you want to eliminate waste and reduce the errors. 5S is the way to do that. Control charts. By understanding the control charts, you can understand the difference between the common causes and special causes. For special causes, you take immediate action, and for common causes, you take long-term actions. Kanban. It is a visualizing tool on maximizing the flow of goods and work without unnecessary inventory or transportation. Then we have 5 Whys. Ask why 5 times and you will get to the root cause of the problem. Hypothesis tests. They establish the relationship between the outputs and inputs, and you can get the root cause with 95% confidence. Value stream mapping. It is used for defining and assessing the movement of the raw materials from the beginning of the process to delivery to the customer. It is a way in which the current state of a process is documented and the future state is visualized. If you want in-depth knowledge about all the tools and techniques, you can always join my Lean Six Sigma Green Belt and Black Belt training programs. So that was about Lean Six Sigma in manufacturing. I hope you have got a clear picture about why Lean Six Sigma is so important in the manufacturing industry. Share this video with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you don't want to miss out on our important updates on the tools and techniques of Lean and Six Sigma and even project management. Happy learning!
Yeah, just you can, you can play some more videos if you have. Meanwhile, I'll just see some of you are selling, you're just asking to make payment. No, I think I'm not sure why it's so, but there's no payment required for downloading the certificate. Maybe there's a technical fault there. I will send you the link. Milbert is telling that. Can our IT team guide him? Because Milbert is finding it. I think this is a typical problem every time. Go ahead. Yeah. You have not selected the audio. Please, can you stop the? Stop it. Yeah. You have to, when you're sharing, you have to select the audio. Yeah, Sage, I hope you forgot the. Yeah, so I hope others have got downloaded the certificate. I hope everyone else has downloaded the certificate, right?
Hi, I am Anexas Master Black Belt Amitabh Saxena, and let me talk about importance of Lean and Six Sigma in healthcare. Lean Six Sigma concepts are used in industries all over the world to improve a process, eliminate waste, and reduce defects. In the healthcare industry, defects not only affect revenue and customer satisfaction, but they signify the difference between life and death. Lean Six Sigma is critically important in healthcare because it helps in reducing defects that can result in medical errors. There are so many challenges in the healthcare industry, like an aging population, shortage of workers, increasing litigation, and many more that require long-term improvement. Because healthcare industry deals with saving lives, errors cannot be accepted at any cost. So, how does Lean Six Sigma really help? With the help of Lean Six Sigma, you can shorten the waiting times in hospitals. The lesser the people wait, the efficient the hospitals will become. Reduce medication errors. and even try to completely eliminate them. Improve turnaround time for lab results, provide better care at lower costs, ensure that the medical staff makes fewer errors, reduce mortality rates, improve patient care, improve quality, and improve overall patient experience. How can you do that? By training the staff as green belts and black belts and allowing them to do improvement projects. Lean Six Sigma training and certification in healthcare provides the tools needed to address the challenges at various levels. It is a time for the healthcare industry to utilize Lean Six Sigma methods to its fullest and drastically change the healthcare industry for the better. Don't you want to be a part of the industry where patients are happier, physicians want to work for you, the cost is as low as possible, and at the same time efficiency is high? If your answer is yes, then Lean Six Sigma is your choice. We have implemented Lean Six Sigma in more than 25 hospitals worldwide, including ministries of health of 4 countries, and we can help you too.
And we have got IT. See, in IT projects also you can reduce the delays and also reduce the costs of your projects. Risk analysis you can improve. So there are some IT related,
How can Lean and Six Sigma be used in IT? I have implemented Lean and Six Sigma in many IT organizations, and each of them have given different benefits. But 3 benefits have been common to all organizations, and they are improvement in customer satisfaction, reduction of costs, and reduction of cycle times and project delivery times. When applied to IT operations, Lean Six Sigma aims to measure and improve both internal processes such as network speed and reliability and external processes like server response time, etc. Other projects which I have executed in IT industries are reduction of defect density and reduction of issues, on-time project delivery, reduction of rework, improvement of IT help desk services by reducing both time and errors. Lean Six Sigma also helps you to quantify the benefits of IT projects which are implemented within the organization. The Lean Six Sigma tools also help you to improve IT support services. How do we do that? By training the staff of IT companies to use Lean Six Sigma tools and techniques and apply DMAC methodology, that is define, measure, analyze, improve and control. They convert the improvement opportunities in the company to Lean Six Sigma projects and complete them to achieve their certifications as green belts and black belts. So they identify the opportunities, they convert them into the projects, and these employees, after applying Lean Six Sigma tools and techniques, improve the process and get certified. So it's a win-win situation. Lean Six Sigma helps to integrate the process excellence in an IT organization's culture to achieve CMM level 5 too. Now you may ask, strategically, what is the impact on IT organizations after implementing Lean and Six Sigma? My answer would be, Lean Six Sigma improves the efficiency of your business and processes, improves the quality of the services you provide, increases the return on investment, improves workforce productivity, and reduces the project completion times. Overall, it helps the organization to deliver faster and more accurate results. To give you examples, some of the tools which have yielded excellent results are use of FMEA. It has resulted in identifying the mistakes and also preventing those mistakes from occurring. Use of control charts have helped many organizations to find the special causes and appropriately take action on it. And then identifying the difference between the common causes and special causes, these organizations have been able to take long-term improvement projects. Kano model has been used to classify the customer requirements into must-haves, good to have, and nice to have, and that has also helped the voice of customer conversion to CTQ, the critical to quality characteristics, the important characteristic, what the customer is looking for. 5 whys, it has helped many organizations to get to the root causes of many issues. So what are you waiting for? Get your Lean Six Sigma certification from Anexas right now. As they say, better late than never.
Yeah, so I think we can close the session now. Unless you have any questions, feel free to ask questions if you have any. And I'll be happy to answer the questions in case you have got any questions. Otherwise, we can close the session. And thanks for joining my session. Thanks a lot. And do join my sessions, Green Belt and Black Belt, if you're interested. Okay. Yeah, we'll keep continuing with Lean and Six Sigma applications in telecom industry, etc. As we go along. But yeah, formally we can close the session. But yeah, those who want a little bit of more knowledge, I think 2 videos will play Lean Six Sigma and telecom industry, and one more is there. Any industry, I think you can choose one of my team. My team member can choose any of those. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Amitabh Saxena, an Anexas Master Black Belt. Every sector needs to meet certain standards and customer expectations on quality, but this is specifically true for telecommunication industry. The businesses are becoming so competitive that if a company fails to meet the expectations of its customers, it will directly impact its sales and reputation. To gain an edge over your competition, you need to improve your efficiency, reduce the defects, reduce errors, increase the customer satisfaction, and increase profits. Seems impossible? It is definitely not impossible. Let's see how we can make it possible using Lean Six Sigma in telecommunication. At Anexas, we have completed many Lean Six Sigma projects for our telecommunication clients. Some of the projects are reducing the billing errors, timeliness of billing, reducing complaints resolution time, increasing circle market share, improving the call completion ratio, which is a result of network quality, timeliness and quality of new schemes that are launched from time to time, improving ARPU, that is average revenue per unit, reducing customer churn, and improving sales productivity. In the telecom industry, Lean Six Sigma can be instrumental in identifying the issues on time. Let me talk about 2 projects and the tools used in them. The first one is about a telecom company where the order error rate for order provisioning campaigns was 20%. Lean Six Sigma project was taken up by the trained black belts, and they used DMAC methodology of define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. Cause and effect diagram was used to brainstorm on all the potential causes, and Pareto analysis, that is 80-20 principle, narrowed down the causes to a vital few, which were incorrect code assignment, duplicate orders, incompatible orders accepted, order entry errors, and code errors. These causes were validated using box plots, scatter plots, and hypothesis tests. Use of FMEA, which is a method of taking preventive actions so that you don't commit an error, along with brainstorming techniques like 635, successfully brought down the order error rate to just 0.5%. This saved $10 million for the company and reduced the customer complaints by 90%. The telecom company has been able to sustain these improvements over the last 5 years using control charts. The second project is about a mobile services provider in Europe and Middle East which faced an issue of value-added services reversal in prepaid connections. DMAC project was undertaken by trained black belts. Root cause analysis and hypothesis tests revealed customer service agents were erroneously deactivating value-added services while providing customer service. Pokayoke was utilized to prevent such mistakes. Oh, what is Pokayoke? Yeah, it is a way to devise the system in a way that even by mistake, you cannot commit a mistake. 5 whys diagram was used where we ask why 5 times to get to the root causes. FMEA was used to find the possible causes of such failure modes in the entire range of customer service activities. Round-robin brainstorming generated many ideas to bring inadvertent errors down. Additional audits were initiated to prevent manual errors which were difficult to eliminate. The change in VAS service was made impossible without customers' recorded concurrence. As 100% recording was initiated, each case became verifiable and led to increased consciousness among the agents. Reduction in VAS reversal complaints led to not only an additional revenue of $5 million, but also resulted in higher customer satisfaction, which contributed to increase in market share of the company to make it number one in the region. I hope now you understand how important Lean Six Sigma is in the telecom industry. Happy learning!